Welcome to the channel, guys. Mr. H here for the second episode in this bizarre series that I'm doing on my cheapest forged engine Subaru Impreza WRX. What we're going to be doing today, this is going to be filmed first before the video that you would have already seen, but you would have known by now what's wrong with the car and how I got it home. Clutch blew. So we think it's the slave cylinder. So what we're going to do, me and my friend, we're going to bleed the slave cylinder. I'm going to show you how to do that, and hopefully that's going to fix it. If not, then we need to go back to the drawing board and it might be a brand new clutch. But I'm going to take you along for the ride because this is a project car for the channel. I know it's left field, I'm aware, but it's a bit of fun. So come along, we're going to teach you how to bleed the slave cylinder, and it should be quite good. So to get to the slave cylinder, we need to remove this STI intercooler, which technically shouldn't really be on this car because it's not an STI, but we're going to do that anyway. So we're going to remove this because the slave cylinder is, basically right underneath it. So we need to do that one, but that's gone. And there's a plane overhead, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, plane! We need to, that bolt, these, and then just a tiny little one there, and then just remove that, and then we're good to go. So we'll do that, record that, and then crack on with actually getting on and bleeding this slave cylinder. So we found, well, this is the engine bay without the intercooler on it. So we found the slave cylinder, which is this thing, which admittedly, when we're looking at it, it does actually look like it probably needs to be replaced anyway. But what we're going to do, just for continuity and to make sure we know for sure, we are going to bleed it. We're still going to try and do that, which the nipple for the slave cylinder is just, I don't know if you can see that, just round over here. So we're going to do that, and we're going to open it whilst depressing, basically just pumping the clutch pedal. Hopefully get some air out of it, if that is the case. If not, then in fairness, this slave cylinder is caked in crap, so it looks like we'll probably have to replace it anyway. But like I say, just for continuity, we're going to do that. But that's how you get to it. It is not a fun engine bay to work in.
You ready? Yeah. Alright, pull it up. And push it down. Yeah. Hang on. Pull it up. Yeah. Hang on. Push it down. Yeah. Do a couple of pumps. Is it actually working?
So what we've done, just to kind of update you guys, we've tried to bleed it. We have. It is bleeding, but it's not working. The actuator is not moving. That's what it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. The end of the slave cylinder seems to be dead. So it's bleeding, but it's just not. We think the slave cylinder's gone. So we're calling around, waiting for people to call back, see if we can pick one up, because it might be an on the shelf part that we can get a hold of, which would be a quick, easy fix if it's that, because that's like only, I don't know, about between 50 to 70 odd pound to fix it. Failing that, it might be the clutch, but we'll explore the cheaper option first, obviously, before we go down the £550 route for a brand new clutch. So there you go, there's the update. we'll hopefully get some feedback for this, and we'll get the part in, show you how to replace it, and then go from there. So just in preparation for getting rid of this jank slave cylinder, we are having to remove the starter motor, because these engines are one of the most compact places to work in, and we can't actually get these bolts off. So obviously we're looking for a replacement, so we'll remove this slave cylinder first, but we have to chuck the starter motor off before we do that. Yeah, interesting. If you're enjoying this, make sure you hit subscribe, because this is going to be, yeah, a bit of a wild ride, I think. So this fixing the clutch now has turned into removing the starter motor. So we've removed the starter motor, which is quite simple actually. There's a bolt up here, and there's a bolt just down around kind of underneath it almost, right to the other side. Really long bolts, kind of never-ending bolt story right there, which now means we have access, because this is the bolts for the slave cylinder are really, it's just too cramped. You've got no clearance. So now we've got clearance this way, which means we can actually fit a full-size socket in there. Hopefully we'll be able to get this off and then replace it, and then go from there. Right, so it's been a few days now, and we've got this blue print slave cylinder. So brand new, old grimy one. This is just some Wilco Special full stop brake fluid .4, which we're going to use. So I'm not going to go too in depth in terms of what we're going to do. It's literally just the reverse of what we did last time to fit. And I'll just quickly show you this actually, because this is pretty neat. Picked this up, well I didn't, Nick did. It's a one-man brake and clutch bleeding kit. So non-return valve, things like that. In fact, it's really nifty, to be honest. We're going to do that whilst we are trying to bleed the slave cylinder, the new one, obviously, to get it circulated with oil without any air bubbles in it. So hopefully that will be good to go.
Yeah.
With Vossner.
Just remember, don't turn the bastard on.
No, Vossner.
Yeah, pistons.
And rods.
Yep.
Right. So
Don't even turn
down.
Yeah. So. Ah, there we go.
It's down.
It's down at the moment, is it?
Yeah. And then you're going to put it on.
Hang on. I have, and that worked. I just want to tighten this nut back up.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, this is my little buddy Jasper. Unfortunately, it looks like, leave the GoPro alone. It looks like the clutch is gone, annoyingly, which is not. It's super annoying. Of course it is. We did the slave cylinder bleeding, but it just didn't do anything. The piston was coming out too much. It just wasn't hitting the fork from the clutch, basically. So it's a bit of a shame, but I do have down here an Exidi clutch. My dog wants to play. This is a pink organic clutch from Exidi, which is ready to go. It's from Scooby Clinic. I bought it in preparation just in case. Basically just in case I needed that and it wasn't the slave cylinder. It's a bit annoying. Obviously I wanted the slave cylinder to be what was wrong with it because it's cheaper, but I've got a new slave cylinder now, so that's fine. And then what we're gonna have to do, because we don't have the kit to be able to fit a clutch ourselves, unfortunately, otherwise we would, we're gonna have to take that down to a garage. So the next video you see on the Subaru should be picking it up with a brand new clutch and just taking it for its first drive. It'll be bedding in time, and we'll obviously do a few pulls because we can do some pulls in it even though the clutch is bedding in. So yeah, live and learn. It's just one of those things. It's part of the process. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Please do hit subscribe. Stay tuned for the cheapest Subaru WRX with a forged engine in the UK. It's going to be a long process. But anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care.